Food is something that we take for granted. It's the center point of our celebrations. It brings comfort and it sustains our lives. But over the last century, the way we get our food and even the makeup of our food itself has changed drastically, and none of it is for our good. Many people might have sensed this, but don't know the details or the extent of how much it's changed. And this is by design, because if people knew, they wouldn't allow it. What we want to do in this documentary is uncover the roots that have given birth to this industrialized food industry. It has given us food that is cheap, but it comes at a great expense.
The mass-produced foods come from the, I hate to call it this, but the ethic, I would consider it a false ethic, that some people are righteous and others are not, coming from the criminal justice system that was initiated through England all over the world. So if you go into Australia, if you go into India, and you go into Africa, you'll see what the Western civilization has done to bring about a separation of peoples such that only certain people, quote, rule. And the way they rule is to make certain that they are responsible for the macroeconomics. So the people responsible for macroeconomics are about the business of, say it this way, disenfranchising small family farmers and people who would take care of themselves, the mom and pop grocery stores, okay? So you need to take a look at the whole picture to understand what's going on now with genetically modified, genetically engineered Franken foods.
My understanding is that there's an epidemic going on right now where children are just not eating properly. They're not getting the proper nutrition, they're not getting the food, and nobody's teaching us how to eat. And it's my understanding that the producers of this documentary are trying to change that, and that they will be throughout this documentary talking about healthy eating, talking about how we need to work with the next generation to make sure that they are doing the right things to preserve their bodies and to preserve Mother Nature and preserve the earth, so that we hand to them, something other than, obesity, something other than illness, something other than all of the things that is happening to our kids because of the way they're eating and because of the way food is being produced. And we want to change that. And that's the purpose of what we're here today to do.